It's Pat Gillis here. Welcome to 28 and 28. You know, I was thinking the other day about the place that I first started to ride, and it was a really horrible place actually. The horses weren't treated well. They were really, really rough on the horses, and I remember even as a little girl thinking to myself, if this is what you have to do to horses to work with them or to be with them, maybe this isn't the sport for me, because I went to it just being so in love with horses, and it was almost enough to make me quit, really. And I guess luckily they got closed down, thank God, and I ended up finding other places and found out that it didn't have to be like that, thankfully. But I know that there's a lot of people that still say things like, it's really important to show the horse who's boss. And when a well-meaning person says that, I think I know what they mean. Like, what they mean is that, the horse should understand that there's certain boundaries and certain perimeters of good manners a horse should have, so you don't get hurt around them, right? So I'm sure that's what a well-meaning person says, but sometimes it steps over the line with other people. And what they mean by you have to show the horse who's boss is that the horse should be a little bit intimidated by his handler, like that you have to kind of rough him up a little bit so that he knows that you're the boss, and that you're gonna sort of run roughshod over him. There's not a lot of joy in that to me. Like, if I really, really want something that I can push around and make it do what I want it to do, I'm going to buy something mechanical, right? Because I don't want a connection with my truck per se, although I kind of have one, but I don't need a connection with my vehicle. I'm looking for a connection with another living, breathing thing. For me, the joy in riding is when we try to find a way to explain to the horse what we want, and have him join in a partnership with us, join in a situation where he really wants to learn with us. If I was doing any training with a horse, I would always think to myself that I didn't want to spend more than 20% of my time correcting the horse. So 80% of my ride, I would want to be telling the horse, good, well done, and kind of keep working on that. And then 20% of my ride correcting. And if I did more than 20%, I always felt like it wasn't a successful ride, that I had probably asked too much of the horse. It was years later that I found out that's actually called the Pareto principle, and it shows up everywhere, that 80-20 rule. But it certainly works with horse training as well. But going back to the idea of showing the horse who's boss, I would much rather show the horse I could be his friend, and I would want to feel that the horse feels that he could be friends with me as well, and that we can accomplish something together in a partnership. To me, that's the only purpose in riding horses, because otherwise, as I say, it's easier. There's many easier ways to get around. Anyway, that is it for this time. That's a short and sweet thoughts on training. Remember to thank your horse, and we will talk to you soon.